up, YouTube? It's Tim with Pinnacle Power Wash. I'm taking you along with me today. I have a roof wash to do in southern New Hampshire in a town called Hollis. I got a call last week from a gentleman who was contacted by his insurance company to let him know that he had been selected randomly for a roof inspection. So he's got an insurance adjuster coming out to look at his roof, and he has some Gleocapsa magma and moss on his roof, and he's concerned that it'll cost him more to not treat it than it would just to go ahead and let me come by and clean it up for him. So that's where we're headed today. We're about 25 minutes out right now, and it's the only job I have on the docket, which is fine. But yeah, I bought a tripod, so hopefully I'll be able to get some good shots. Not thinking, if I'm remembering correctly, I shouldn't have to get on the roof for this one, but I have my ladders with me and I'm prepared to get on the roof if needed, but I don't think I'll need to. I think I'll be able to get everything either from the ladder or from the ground. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get some better shots than my last video. Yeah, we'll see. See you there, guys. All right, guys, we're on our first job, or I guess our only job today. Roof wash. We're fueling up. We're filling up our tank, and this is our roof that we got going on today. So I don't know how insurance would look at it, but I guess they did randomly select him for an inspection. So we're gonna get this cleaned up for the client today, make it look like new. We're doing the back side as well, which is in much better shape. I'll show you guys that as well. He said while we're here, he just wants the whole thing done. That way he knows that it's all set. But this is a beautiful property. Nice pool house. This is beautiful. All right. It's kind of hard to see that upper level, but we'll get up there. But yeah, that's our job today. Like I said, I'm just filling up now. Gonna get all my hoses dragged out and get my ladder set up. I'm thinking I guess I am definitely gonna have to get on this roof, which is fine. I think I'm gonna spray the front down first, and then I'll come back. I'll hop up onto the second story and get that whole section done, and then I can pretty much hit the rest from the ground. So yeah, I think that this job should come out real nice. My biggest problem right now is estimating time. I'm horrible at it. It seems like if I tell the client it's gonna be 3 hours, it takes me 5 hours. If I tell them 5 hours, it takes me 2.5. I hate that because it makes me look like, I don't know, it makes me feel like I look like I'm shorting the customer, or who knows. But yeah, that's the job. I'm going to get set up the rest of the way and we'll get washing. All right, guys, everything's pre-wet down and all my lines are pulled out. Property protection's done. I put some trash bags around the gutters. It's time to wash. Let's get to it. All right, guys, a bit of a miscalculation on my part. Thought I was able to hit the whole thing from the ground, at least on this side. I was wrong. 12 volts just not strong enough to hit the peak, but that's fine because I'm gonna get on the roof in the back anyways. So I'll just hit the top, like the peak of this roof from the ridge when I'm up there in the back. So we'll keep going. All right, guys, while that's dwelling, I'm gonna re-wet this side down. As you can see, maybe there's a couple areas, like right here, there's no gutters there, and down this end, that lower half doesn't have gutters either. So before I move on to the back, I'm just gonna re-wet this, and then I'll re-wet the back down, treat the back, and then we'll check the front and see what it looks like. All right, guys, we're at the back of the house. I'm gonna hit this section and then this smaller section first, just from the ground, and then we have that section next to the ladder. I also can hit from the ground, so I'm gonna do all that, and then I'll climb up on the ladder and I'll hit this section from the roof, from the ridge line, along with that other side that I wasn't able to reach. Yeah, I think that's part of like the whole learning experience of this, is trial and error of seeing how your equipment works and whatnot. Like, I was fairly confident I was able to hit the ridge from the front on the ground, and obviously I was wrong. But no harm, no foul. Nothing that I can't fix by just getting up on the roof in the back and hitting that ridge line from up top, and we'll just recoat the front. It'll all come out great. Cool. All right, guys, status update. I'm on the roof. Turned out that this section of roof is super slick. The granules aren't super great, or maybe my shoes, my Huck boots are not great. I don't know. But with the pitch, I'm not climbing up there. There's just no sense. I can hit, or I already did hit this whole section of roof from the ground. If I need to, I'll just move my ladder around the front and do the peak from that side. Right now I'm a one-man crew today, so obviously safety has to come first. If I had a second guy, I probably would just run up there and do it, because even if coming down was sketchy, I could just have the ladder move to the front. But obviously, being a one-man show, don't have that luxury, so decided just to hit this from this roof that I'm standing on. All I have left now is this whole section. This peak that I'm standing on is an addition that they had put on, and the customer doesn't want it treated. So we're not gonna, because it's basically brand new anyways, but he doesn't want it treated, so I'm gonna treat the rest of this section that I'm standing on, and then I'll hop down, we'll re-wet everything down again and check the front, see how it looks. All right, guys, we're back around front. I have my ladder set up there. As you can see, it's quite the difference between where it was treated and where it was not. It definitely looks kind of crappy because there's a lot of moss up there, and it's funny, like, you don't really notice you just notice there's moss up there, but like down over on like this side of the roof, there's a ton of moss, and it's obviously pretty obvious. I did set the expectation with the customer though that, you know, it's not going to be all gone today. Oftentimes roof washes, they look worse before they look better. So I found being pretty upfront with your customer about that, they definitely appreciate it. And then there's no surprises when he comes home and it looks like there's a bunch of wet toilet paper on his roof. He understands, like, that's just dead moss and it will come down. It's just a matter of Mother Nature taking it down. But yeah, we're gonna hit the rest of this roof. We'll tie up some property protection. There's a spot on the back of the garage I want to spot treat. Other than that, we're almost wrapped up here. So we'll shoot the rest of this roof and get some property protection done. All right, guys, that's another one in the books. The customer was super satisfied, and they said they were gonna leave me a 5-star review on Google. Super important. I always forget to ask the customer to leave me a review. However, I do have it set up. I use Markate as my CRM, and I have it automated, so one day after they pay their invoice, it will email them and ask them basically to leave me a 5-star Google review, and it gives them my link. Today, I was smart enough to remember just in person to ask the customer to leave me a 5-star review, and he said that that would be no issue. He's super happy with the work. He told me they just had their roof done 5 years ago, like cleaned 5 years ago, and likely the next time they have it done, they'll give me another call because they were happy with my service. Yeah, so it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I started at just before 10 o'clock. So we're looking at like 3 hours between the whole roof, which I feel like is a long time, considering I hear people on the internet say they can do roofs in like half an hour. That being said, I pretty much washed everything from the ground. I spent a little bit of time up on a ladder and a small portion of time on the actual roof to spray up that highest section. But I pretty much just did it from the ground and walked around. Just seems like the safest thing. I have nothing else going on today, so I'd rather just be thorough, safe, and do a good job. Especially I'm still just trying to build my business. But yeah, I'm gonna call it 3.5 hours, but I think it was under. I started I wanna say I turned my machines on at 9:46, and I'm like 10 minutes into my ride home and it's 1:19. So we'll just call it, 3.5 hours. One thing I think I have decided that I want to invest in for next season, though, is a gas soft wash system. I'm using the 12 volt right now, and it does get the job done. It's made me a lot of money, but I think that obviously I would like to be getting busier. So the more I am getting busier, the more efficient I am going to have to be, and that just seems like it's gonna make me the most efficient. Like if I could have gas soft washed that house, I never would have had to touch the ladders. Maybe for that highest section, I guess, but other than that, would never have gone near a ladder, and I probably would have been done much faster. Obviously moving a ladder around slows you down. It just seems like it would be a smarter decision. So we'll see if that's in the cards for me this year, but probably not. Maybe start it next season. It's September 17th today, so we're getting to the end of washing season here in New England. But yeah, thanks for coming along with me, guys. I appreciate anyone who watches this, or if you have any feedback, any comments, questions, advice, I'm open to all of it. Again, if you have any video ideas, Jesus Christ, if you have any video ideas, please comment them below, and I will potentially make a video based off of your idea. Yeah, so like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.